What sucks about being a man? My wife attacked me while I was holding our 2-year-old. I walked away, drove to my dad's 3 states over with my son because I needed to be somewhere safe. She called the cops, told them I kidnapped him. Police called me the next day asking for my side. I explained everything. She attacked me in our living room. I was holding our toddler. Our baby was in the crib. I left to protect them both. The officer on the phone sounded sympathetic. He told me to come back to New York immediately and check in with the detective assigned to my case. I did exactly what they said. Drove 6 hours back, walked into the precinct at 9 a.m. Got arrested the moment I showed up. They put me in a holding cell overnight. The guy next to me was there for his 3rd DUI. When I told him why I was there, even he looked at me like I was lying. The arraignment happened the next morning. Judge set bail at $2,000. My dad had to wire me the money. I posted bail and wasn't allowed to see my kids. The restraining order meant I couldn't go home for my stuff. Not my clothes, not my insulin, not even my mail. I was 34 years old starting over from nothing. I had $340 in my checking account after bail. I spent the first 2 days sleeping in my car outside a Walmart because I couldn't afford first month's rent and a security deposit anywhere. Finally found a studio apartment for $950 a month that didn't run a background check. The mandatory domestic violence class started 3 weeks later. It cost $75 every single week, cash only, no exceptions. The location was on the edge of town, accessible by one bus route that took 90 minutes each way. If you were even 5 minutes late, you were dismissed from the class. If you missed one class, you got kicked out and the judge could send you to jail. The instructor was this woman who made it clear on day 1. Domestic violence is an act committed by men against women, period. Only men are abusers. Only women are victims. I raised my hand during the 3rd class, asked what happens when the woman is the aggressor. She stared at me for a full 10 seconds. Then she said, "Are you blaming your victim right now? Because that's grounds for dismissal." I never asked again. I sat through 14 months of this. Every week, stories about men who hurt their wives, men who deserve to be in prison, men like me, apparently. Meanwhile, my wife sued for child support. The court ordered $1,200 a month garnished directly from my paycheck. After taxes and the garnishment, I was bringing home $1,850 a month. Rent was $950. The class was $300 a month. My insulin copay was $180. Do the math. I started skipping my medication. I'm type 1 diabetic, so that's not like skipping a vitamin. My blood sugar would hit 350, 400. I'd get dizzy at work. I started eating 1 meal a day, usually rice and eggs, to try to keep my levels stable without insulin. 1 month I was so broke I missed the domestic violence class. Couldn't afford the $75. At my next court appearance, the judge threatened me with 30 days in jail if I didn't resume immediately. So I stopped buying my insulin entirely, started eating every other day. I sued for visitation rights with my kids. It took 4 months and another $1,500 I didn't have. I won 2 hours every other Saturday. By the time I saw my youngest son again, he was 16 months old. He'd taken his first steps, had his first birthday, said his first words. I missed all of it because of a lie. Most Saturdays when I showed up to get them, my wife wouldn't answer the door. I'd stand outside ringing the bell for 20 minutes, call her phone 15 times, nothing. Other times she'd open the door and say, "They're napping," then slam it in my face. I went to the police station 4 different times to file complaints. Every time they told me the same thing: bring it up at your next court date. We can't do anything. One Saturday she actually let me take the kids. We went to the park. When I brought them back, she stood in the doorway screaming at me in front of the neighbors, called me every name you can think of. Then she kicked me hard in the shin, left a bruise the size of a baseball. I called 911 right there. 3 police cars showed up. I showed them the bruise, pointed to the neighbors who saw it happen. The officer looked at me and said, "Just walk it off, man. Try again next week." That's when I realized nothing was going to change. My lawyer finally told me the truth after my court date got pushed back for the 3rd time. He said, "Plead guilty and take the punishment. You cannot win this. If you plead not guilty and lose, they'll give you jail time." I asked him what I was supposed to plead guilty to. He said, "Menacing in the 3rd degree. You'll get 1 more year of the class, but at least you'll avoid prison." I wrestled with that choice for 2 weeks, but I eventually took his advice. I stood in front of that judge and pleaded guilty to a crime I didn't commit. That was 6 years ago. I still can't find steady work with that conviction on my record.